he doesn't care what anybody else thinks about her. So that's what's saying.
It's not like that nowadays.
So,
That makes sense for on the Jordan.
Next, I'm going to give you guys a learning assessment. There's no right or wrong answers. This is simply so I can know what type of learner you are. So there's auditory learners, there's visual learners, there's tactile learners, and so there's going to be a series of questions. There's only 10 of them, and you pick A, B, or C. Some are true or false, and it'll tell me what type of learner you are, and then we'll move on. If everybody could put their name on the papers and pass it up to the first person in the front row. Get your pencil, pen, and I'm going to ask you, if you answered A, B, C, or D, you're going to put a different letter by it, okay? So if you answered A for number 1, then you will put a T by that question, meaning tactile. There's no right or wrong answers, you're just putting the letter. If you answered B for number 1, you'll put T. If you answered C for number 1, you'll put A. And if you answered D for number 1, you'll put a V.
TTAV.
Yes. So A is T, B is T, C is A, and D is B. Here and explain it. Whatever you need, just make sure that you have evidence of how that's in the poem, and make sure that you can explain it effectively to the class. Everybody got it? Yes. All right, everybody else, quiet down so we can listen.
Amaya will tell us, explain.
What faith is.
I don't know if that is.
Fake.
Sit down. I want to go.
Oh my God.
Go.
Okay. Well. I'm explaining them. Okay, the faith in the story was when the character had to pick his way through the 2 different paths. And his decision, he had to have faith in his decision to pick the right one. So yeah, this is him questioning himself to go down the paths. And then this is the, wait, isn't this the path that he went down? And then this is the opening.
Okay.
And for like, we had put words down to describe the poem. And you put choose wisely, it's a hard way and an easy way, decision, successful, don't second guess yourself, failure. Your future depends on the choices you make. So for your future depends on the choices you make. It's like saying that if you make bad decisions, that your future will also be bad too. And then for don't second guess yourself. It's like it's saying that if you was thinking about something the first time, don't like ask yourself, should I do this or should I do that? Just go with the question or answer that you have.
Tomorrow, I want you guys to take these poems home. I want you to look over them, because tomorrow you guys have a quiz on this poem. Yep. So make sure that you read through it. Make sure that if you didn't take notes, even though you were supposed to, make sure you go home and take notes.
What I think it's about is her and her babe or whatever, and then like he long distance and she love him. She tried to say she don't, but then eventually she said she. But she love him, but then she don't think it's gonna work because he not gonna be there for her and stuff.
Okay. Who else?
Okay, well, I think this story is about how
It's not a poem, it's a poem.
I mean, yeah, the poem. Okay. Thank you. I think the poem is about how the boy he go out with many different girls and all he wanted to do is have sex with them. And she's saying that like she's not the other girl that he's with, and that she just don't want to have sex. She just want to have somebody that love her and appreciate her for who she is. I think it's
Okay. Anybody else?
yeah.
So how old do you think this girl is? You think it's a teenager or a woman?
She's a
teenager. Okay.
She's lonely, but she's not.
Okay.
I went to say she wanted to be with him, but then she knows it's not gonna work out, so she's
So she goes
He got home.
All right. Okay, so this spoken word, this poem, this was composed 2 years ago from a student at Olympic. And you're looking at her. I read this poem at my sophomore poetry slam. Miss Easter helped me. We put it all together. The boy Brian, who just walked outside, we were all a little sophomore leadership group. We put it together and we did it during A&E. We had auditions. It was nice. It was real nice. We forgot to take it though. So I reenacted it for you guys so you can kind of get a glimpse of how it looked. But yeah. I wrote this.
Oh my God.
I always liked poetry. It was a way for me to express myself. I don't really like math. I'm not good at it. I don't like numbers. There's a lot of stuff I didn't get. But poetry, it was so open. It was so free. I could do whatever I wanted to do. So the italicized part, I kind of got up and I was kind of talking to him. And then I got into my poem when it starts off as I started falling. That's when it was the poetry part. So let me tell you what it was about.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Is this a real situation? She about to tell you.
Yeah. I kind of made it a little bit more dramatic than what it really was. So long story short, I'm a person who loves to be loved. I love for people to adore me. I love attention. I love all that stuff. But I don't like to give it. That's just, feelings get hurt when you love people, all that stuff. So I don't really like that. So at this part in my life, just broke up with somebody. Didn't really care that much because I didn't really like him that much. But it was this boy. Now, boys, y'all probably don't want to hear this, but girls, it was this boy. I met like the summer before, and he was so beautiful. Like when I saw him, I didn't even want to speak to him. Like my friend was trying to get me to talk to him. I was like, no, he's not gonna think I'm cute. My hair's not done. No, I don't want to talk to him. And he came over and he said the corniest joke, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's cool. Okay. And I was like, I didn't even know what to say around him. Like he was talking to me, and I was like. And I like ran home. I was like, Mom, he's so cute. Let me look him up on Instagram. I was so excited. And so we had this weird, like, I like you, you like me, but he was so mysterious. And he had so many things going on. His mother passed when he was 10. So he was in this whole, I don't really like God. He's not real because if he was, he wouldn't have took my mom from me. And he was just, he looked at things a lot differently from me. But the one thing we did agree on was we didn't like to love. We didn't like that feeling. We didn't like to be hurt. But I didn't realize at the time that somebody who didn't like to be loved wasn't good for me because I liked that feeling. I loved to be loved, but he couldn't give me that because he was the same as me. So the poem is pretty much just talking about how I thought I found the one because he was beautiful and we can have nice conversation, and he was just like me in the sense of not being ready to give your heart away. But then I realized that he couldn't give me exactly what I needed. I told you I was a sophomore. He was about to go off to college. What? He was a senior. Now, though he was 17 and I was 15, whatever it was, we were about to be in two different stages of our lives. Now, he wasn't going off to some faraway land. He goes to the Art Institute uptown, not too far away. But I was thinking, okay, well, if I see how lovely this person is, I don't want him to go off to college. And then it's all these grown women who see how great he is. It just can't work. We just can't be together. And that's pretty much all it was about. So that was a little story time. I reenacted it for you guys yesterday. I'm sorry that I didn't have the tape. I wish you guys could see it when it was actually happening, but you know, things happen.
I said
Okay. Okay, wait. I'm almost there.
not gonna come up here and tell you how hopelessly devoted I am to a boy. I'm not gonna tell you that we're in love, he never cheats, and he's always gonna be around. Because the same girls with those silly notions are the ones he's only been with for a day. She falls into his trap, do something stupid like have sex, and the next day he's on his way. Meanwhile, she's crying, he's in love with the next, and you're on Twitter tweeting about how you miss your ex. See, this girl won't be me. You see, I'm like this. Don't tell me you love me if you don't mean it. Yeah, it feels good, but trust me, I don't need it. I obviously got to say I'll be fine without you. But I'm sure we all know how it feels to want something that isn't good for you. It's almost like a drug. And at this day and age, we know the difference between right and wrong. So what do? And yes, indeed, honesty is the best policy. So I always try to be honest with myself. But in this situation I'm in, I just don't know what to do. You see, I started falling, and I was falling hard. I wasn't falling in love. I was falling because you were special. You were something truly sent from above. But I'm not like these other girls. This love thing isn't for me, you see. I started falling, and I was falling hard until I realized there was no one to catch me when I fell. It was like you made it to the end of the rainbow, and there was no pot of gold. But you can be my pot of gold. You can make me laugh, you can make me smile, you can hold me when I'm cold. But is that what I really need? I started falling, I was falling hard, but that's not what I want. I just want to do me, and I'll let you do you because I'm not ready to do less. But I wouldn't mind having you around. I wouldn't mind having you hold me down. But honestly, I don't want a relationship. Let's just chill. Just respect my mind, my heart, my soul, and me. Let's build a future slowly. Be my rock. Be here with me. Be real with me. Be my shawty. But honestly, I don't know what's the truth and I don't know what's lies. It's like your love's got me hypnotized. Whoa, wait, did I say that? Love? L-O-V-E, you and me, something so strong, something people believe will last for eternity, something so real, I know we're young, but I know what I feel. And honestly, we just can't be. And it's not because of you, and it's not because of me, but because of geography, because of how far away you would be from me. And it just can't work, and it's just not meant to be. But I swear I've never felt this feeling before, and you have to be the one for me. And honestly, it's like on a roller coaster ride, and I don't know what to do, but I swear I would never want to build this ride with anyone other than you. I started falling, and oh God, I was falling hard, until I realized the only one that was falling was me. Boom. Unlike you other girls, I snapped back to reality. This thing between me and you can never be. So I made myself laugh and smile, and I'll hold me down, because when it's all said and done, I'm the only one who's always around. Honestly.
I didn't really like it. I didn't feel like it.
So, I really wish that we take that because we had some really nice ones. We had about 10 people perform. We had some boys that had some really interesting ones talking about how people are so worried about how people view them and things like that. It was really nice. So, we're gonna have our own poetry slam in here. Yes, we are. Yep. So, think about it this way. It's only this class and you all know each other. I stood in front of the entire school of biotech as a sophomore. And a lot of them knew of me because I had an older brother, but they didn't really know me. And then everybody thought my spoken word was about something that it wasn't. They thought it was about my ex, and he was sitting there telling everybody, like, yeah, it's about me. And then to this day, people still tell me, oh, I know it's about him. He wasn't far away. We was in the same class. Like, that don't even make sense. So, I mean, that was interesting. It was a nice experience. When I actually went up there, I love, like, doing stuff like that. Like, I love doing poetry. I love acting. I used to be in little children's plays at the theater downtown. But when I got up there, I was so nervous. My hands started getting clammy, and so I had to hold the mic, and I was afraid it was going to slip because they're clammy and they're hot and they're sweating, and my leg was like trembling on the inside. Like, y'all couldn't see it twitch, but it was like twitching. I'm like, oh God, please don't let me fall, because I was trying to walk it off, and I'm like, ooh. I just felt like I looked like, but couldn't nobody see it. But I just really wish that you could have seen the actual thing. But public speaking is something that you guys are going to have to get used to. Have to. We used to have a debate class in biotech, and it was during that same time, and we used to have to go up there and do 7-minute speeches with no paper. What? Like, we used to have to do crazy stuff. We used to have to stand behind the podium and talk. So, luckily for y'all don't have to do stuff like that. But still, when you become a senior, you have to do your senior exit, and you're going to have to stand in front of people and talk for 7 minutes, and it's only going to be 3 people. So it's easy to talk to a group of people like this, because I can just scan. But when it's 3 people just staring at you, and you're talking, so I just want you guys to get used to doing that. And I want you guys to find the joy in poetry. Because as you see, I love poetry. And I know that a lot of you guys do not, because I saw your faces yesterday when she asked who liked poetry. But this is just simply a way for you to express yourself. Whether you want to talk about shoes, because you love shoes, you want to talk about basketball, you want to talk about joy, all that. It's your time. So for the rest of the class, you're going to be trying to compose your own poem, your own spoken word. You can do it with any way you want to. You can talk to me, we can talk about it, we can figure it out. We can sit here and throw out some ideas before everybody gets started.
Can we do that?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how exactly it's going to be set up. I didn't really have a rhyme scheme. Kind of did, kind of didn't. Like most poems, you know, my roses are red, violets are blue, I love you. Like, it didn't really rhyme like that because I was just talking. And that's why it's more of a spoken word than a poem. So it can rhyme. It doesn't have to rhyme. And I know y'all know about rhyme, so it can be like AA, AB, ABCD, like how they do all that. Doesn't matter, whatever you feel. Usually what I do, I piece that all together. So at one time when I was feeling something, I would go sit down and I would write it, or I put it in my notes in my phone. And then later, when something would happen again and I felt it again, I would go back to it. Because it was hard for me to just sit there and write that. I couldn't just sit there and just write. Like, I was emotional, but I wasn't that emotional. Like, I couldn't just sit down and just sit and just write like that. So, if you gotta write bits and pieces and then throw it together, because that's what I did. I knew that it was all gonna come together, but I didn't write it as one. So the last part, I wrote that first, because that's just what I felt. But I'm like, that's not something that I'm gonna put at the beginning. And so then I said, honestly, and I was like, okay, that's gonna be the name, because I'm being honest. Okay, and it kind of just pieced together. So don't think that you have to write it from, okay, I'm gonna sit here, write the first line and the second line. You don't gotta do it like that. It's whatever you wanna do, because we're not gonna know. I'm sure y'all didn't know that I pieced it together over the course of 2-3 months. That's how I did it. So that's why I love it so much, because you're free to do what you want to do. Nobody knows, especially at a spoken word. When you get to say it, nobody knows, especially if you mess up. We don't know. Keep going. So just write about whatever you want. You want to write about a TV show you like. You want to write about something you don't like. It's whatever. You can do whatever you want to do. So let's think. What else have I written poems about? I've written poems about how people view me, how I come off to people. People don't really see who I truly am because I don't really open up to everybody. Wrote something like that. Mine are usually deeper because it's usually I have a lot of thoughts about it and I don't say it. So mine are usually deeper, but it can be something so simple. Like I said, it can be about shoes. It can be about how you don't like poetry. I don't really care. I just need you to write.
Mine's called The Workout. 1 rep, 1 breath, 2 reps, 2 breaths. No pain, no gain. Sweat run down my face. 1 more, non-stop. 1 rep, 1 breath, 2 reps, 2 breaths.
My poem is called This Is Me. Sometimes you view me as a shy, quiet girl that is lost in the background, trying to make her way through the lost crowd. You think a face full of smiles is the real me. Well, it's not. Hiding who I am, it's just me. That's the one who I am. Pleasing people with what I show, but the one on the inside is me. Outside of this world, I am a human with a heart of gold. No one sees that I am a passionate girl that has a smile brighter than the sun. Every night before bed, I laugh, I cry again. That's the pain of like me.
My poem is about annoying sisters. I have 2 little sisters. They're like pizza with pepperoni. When they plan to bother you, they will. They will become character Kevin McAllister. They sass anybody with their sassiness. They are short and sweet as a doll, but they bother like a bird pecking on a tree. When they be nice, you will see me smile.
My poem is called Where I'm Going. Where I'm going, nobody knows. We always hope for the best, but it always snows. We always hear what we should be, but you can't dream my dreams for me. Your expectations are higher than mine. We are two very different people. Please get that through your mind. I know what you want from me, but what I want for me is differently, you see. I don't want to follow by the book, and do what is expected. I want to live life knowing that if today would be my last, I will have no regrets. Where I'm going, nobody knows, but trust me, when I get there, there won't be any snow. I'm ready to go far away, but I know I have to finish what I started that day. It hasn't been easy, and I know it won't get any easier, but when I get to where I'm going, I'll know I live my life the right way. Where I'm going, nobody knows, and when I get there, there won't be any snow.
Okay, my poem name is I Love You. I loved you, and maybe I still do. I loved you, but clearly it wasn't true. The flames will put out too quick, so therefore the smoke still sits. At times I'm very jealous, which makes me hate you more. But the more I say hate, the closer you are to the door. I don't know what to do. At times I look at the sky and can't even find blue. Maybe it's the fact I might be shy, so let me give up and give you the wishes that you find another love as tender as I.
Bless you. I got a question. Is it like a limit to where we have to write a certain amount? No. Is it? Okay, I think mine's short.
Alright, so mine's not that great, but shots, so many shots, bodies everywhere, men, women, boys and girls, living the dead, friends are being killed, enemies are living. Why are we fighting for freedom? Is it really worth it? Yeah, so people like us live, and soldiers like them have fought. Shots, so many shots, bodies everywhere, men, women, boys and girls, the living, the dead. Our freedom, do we take advantage of it or use it wisely? Or do we waste it like a lot of other things? I hope not, because I will always love it. Shots, so many shots, boys, bodies everywhere, men, women, boys and girls. Living the dead, I love my freedom to you.
Batista?
Yeah.
Could you ask Jada Lala to report to Ms. Bass in room 245?
Okay.
Thank you.
My poem's called Why. Color my hair and face full of smiles, blotchy eyes and a million tears. Why me? Scars on my heart that show the real me. 14 texts and a phone call later, I find the truth. Why you is the only thing on my mind. Remembering your face is the hardest to do. Seeing you again would be good for me, but it would destroy the people that know me. Talking to you is hard to do, but not getting a reply is the hardest. Seeing your family makes me want to run, but I know I'm the only thing left. I want to know why. Why did you leave me in this horror show? Why did you leave me when I needed you most? One phone call could have helped you in your time of need. I just want to know one thing. Why?
Come on, girl.
You want me to read it for you?
Can somebody else read it for me?
I'll do it.
You want us to come back to you? Hey, come on.
As I'm walking in the rain, do they see my pain? To be judged and shoved and pushed to the ground. But as I'm just going around in this bitter hole called life, it's wondering who's holding the knife. Is it me doing it to myself, or you because you think I'm filth? But as I hide in happiness and yet sworn to depression, this thing called life is just a painful repetition. And as I question a God, I'm forced to fall, to be sentenced to hell for eternity. I wonder, is it them or is it me?
Okay, so for the most heartfelt award goes to Brian.
No, that's what you're reading.
The most original goes to Courtney. And the best overall goes to Gabriel.
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
so I know that you all took the surveys and you answered pretty much any questions that I would have. But I still just want to know, I just want to talk to you guys about how you liked the past 3 days with me, what you liked, what you didn't like, what if I teach another class, what I should change. My feelings won't be hurt, just be honest, and just let me know.
I got the
I
back.
like how you put us in little separate, groups.
Yeah.
The different teaching styles.
It wasn't boring.
I like this today.
You liked the different groups, you said it wasn't boring.
I just like your style.
You like my style, okay. What else? How do y'all feel about poetry now? Y'all still like
I kind of like it somewhat.
So what?
Hey, stop with the shoes.
It's alright. Okay.
Back in that corner, be quiet.
Alright, any other comments, questions?
I have a question. So she almost confused. So what are you gonna do when you graduate?
What am I gonna do when I graduate? I plan to go to Winston-Salem State University. I'm unsure of my major yet. I've been going back and forth. So I'll probably just go in, take my core classes, and figure out my major later. I'll probably take a break before I go to get my master's because school, it's a lot of stress. I probably need some time to relax, but.
You used to talk to your guy wrote that poetry.
We speak like we're friends, but he's mysterious. He'll talk to me and then he'll leave for like 5 months and like be in a hole and then he comes back and then we speak and then he like goes away again. That's just how he is. But yeah, we speak.
Josh, think you better than
I did not say that.
You heard that?
How well did when you get your poetry test next week then?
I think it's pretty good because you like not attending it, but like you like mathematics after school. That's why.
Yeah, you're not eating.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
She's
Well, you're in school when you
I'm not what?
You're not fussy. In a few years. I mean, a few days.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I give you your grade.
Yeah, he
Don't worry, Miss Peter.
You wanna go to more days? Let's go.
Don't get yourself in trouble with it. No more questions, no more comments, no more concerns. Nope. Okay, well, I had a good time with you guys. I didn't know what to expect. I thought I was gonna come in here and y'all gonna look at me like I was an alien and you weren't gonna participate. So I really appreciate that you guys participated. It made me feel real good because I took so long to get these lesson plans together and I kept changing my mind and I was so stressed and stuff kept happening and stuff kept popping up, but you guys made it worthwhile. So thank you.